They always made you feel like something was missing, didn't they? Like the pieces of life were in place, but the picture was never complete. Because Chosen One, they never told you the truth. They hid from you who you are, what you carry, what divine codes you were born with. Even your parents kept this information from you, if only to protect you. But now, it's time to wake up. This video will reveal to you the untold past, the hidden truth, and the power that has been sealed within you. Write 444 in the comments now, because you were not born randomly, you were chosen. Now it's time to learn who you really are and why the whole system is mobilized to stop you. If you are ready, the curtains are lifting. Destined for an unexpected breakthrough, a cosmic signal shatters their veil of lies. The moment word of your transformation rippled through their circle, every whispered rumor landed like raw thunder across their convictions. Reports of your ascent, your revitalized purpose, your undeniable momentum slammed into their disbelief with the force of a celestial decree, halting their schemes dead in their tracks. Constructed on shifting sands, their deception unravels as radiance emerges. While their fabricated narratives teetered on the brink, your presence began to glow brighter than any shadow they cast. Layer by layer, their carefully built mirage dissolved as you illuminated every hidden crack, revealing the hollowness beneath their grand designs. Blinded by self-spun illusions, their conviction betrayed them. In their arrogance, they drank deeply of their own propaganda, convincing allies to scorn your vision. They spread venomous rumors like poisonous ink, convinced each lie would stick, but their own echo chamber distorted perception, trapping them in a spiral of self-deception. While toxic energies circled, transformation found fertile ground. Their efforts to sow discord only fueled your evolution. As they gossiped in hushed tones, you forged a new reality, constructing bridges where they built walls, nurturing growth where they planted decay, rising to frequencies they cannot fathom. Like a river of living light carving its way through stone, the stories pouring in about you refuse to be held back any longer. First-hand accounts now flood every channel, washing away every doubt they tried to sow. From every corner of your world comes testimony of your brilliance. Tales of breakthroughs that bolstered bank accounts, of fresh vigor springing to life in weary bones, of skills sharpened to a razor's edge. These voices rise together in a mighty chorus that no false charge can withstand. You've been called lucky, blessed, even miraculous, and these aren't empty labels. They're witness statements from people who have seen your destiny unfold in real time. A longtime friend reports your name on the lips of CEOs who once ignored you, praising the innovations you introduced. A cousin texted about an inheritance you never expected that arrived just when you needed it most. Colleagues marvel at your newfound presence in boardrooms where your insights now carry weight no skeptic can deny. Listen to the whispered marvels from neighbors who watched you rebuild after setbacks that would have broken lesser spirits. They speak of your tireless work ethic, of nights you burned the midnight oil only to rise with the dawn and keep building. They talk about how your calm confidence transformed group meetings into think tanks, how your quiet faith in better days gave everyone around you permission to hope again. And then there are the professionals, therapists who charted your emotional healing like a star map, trainers who measured your physical transformation down to the millimeter, financial advisors who witnessed your savvy turn a modest nest egg into a thriving portfolio. Each one contributes a data point in this unstoppable mosaic of success. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thank You button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but the souls of many through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's grand design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Act now. Share your blessings to glorify His kingdom. For you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. But it's not just numbers on a page. Brothers and sisters in community groups testify that your generosity sparked a chain reaction of kindness. A single act of support you offered, an encouraging word, a donated hour of your time, ignited a network of goodwill that's reshaping lives. They say your very presence inspires others to step into generosity themselves, building on the foundation you laid. All this testimony converges into a single truth. You are not a footnote in someone else's narrative. You are the headline. No smear campaign, no whisper network, no orchestrated blowback can rewrite the facts now streaming in from every side. The ledger of your life is balanced in your favor, and every page reeks of victory. As a chosen vessel of higher purpose, you carry a frequency that aligns with abundance and resilience. Those testimonies are more than compliments. They're confirmations that the spiritual code embedded in your DNA always had the final word. You were never meant to simply survive. You were designed to thrive so wildly that every doubter becomes a believer. So lean into this overwhelming wave of evidence. Let it fuel your faith, stoke your momentum, and deepen your gratitude. Share your story boldly, because behind every statistic is a soul whose light you helped ignite. Amen to that, and amen to even greater chapters yet to be written. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Silent triumph crafts the perfect balance, repaying every slight. Remember how they ridiculed your dreams, undermined your efforts, and set traps in your path. Now their own misdeeds return on unseen currents, draping their world in a quiet reckoning that leaves no room for escape or denial. Like a boomerang of mercy carved from starlight, every gesture they flung in your direction arcs back to reclaim its origin. In this cosmic courtroom, karma doesn't fumble the case. It delivers judgment with laser-sharp accuracy. At the heart of this divine choreography, every spite-laden word becomes the architect of its own undoing. The same bitterness they bottled up now seeps through the cracks of their fortress, dissolving the mortar of deceit they once trusted. As whispers of repentance flutter through their circle, the veneer of confidence fractures beneath the weight of universal truth. You've witnessed how even the smallest act of malice ricochets tenfold, eroding alliances built on convenience and fear. The friends who once applauded their schemes now shift uncomfortably, sensing the shift in celestial winds. Their loyalty, once as sturdy as iron, unravels thread by thread under the spotlight of higher purpose. Every late-night plotting session they held, huddled in shadowed rooms, played out live before angels and ancestors alike. Now the tapes of their intentions replay on the big screen of eternity, projected in stark relief for all to see. The energy they exported, hoping to chain you down, has become the very force that propels the tide of retribution. And oh, how sweet it is to watch their embattled defenses crumble. Those self-appointed gatekeepers of your destiny discover their keys no longer fit the locks. Every door they thought they held ajar has slammed shut at your command, redirecting their trapped energy back upon itself like a tidal wave, erasing footprints on the sand. In boardrooms, in living rooms, even in whispered corridors of power, voices rise to proclaim the truth of your resilience. The momentum you've built is unstoppable. An express train fueled by goodwill, faith, and unwavering conviction. With every mile it covers, it pulls more souls onto its platform, leaving the naysayers stranded on tracks that now lead nowhere. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be upon you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the temporal concerns of the world. As the Bible says, whatever is done in faith will return to God in abundant blessing. Luke 6:38. Like that great oak tree, our roots are deeply rooted in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stand we take, is secured by His strength. And now, you are being offered the opportunity to be part of that blessing. When you use the Super Thank You button and donate $100, this movement will return to you 100-fold in abundance. They scurry to salvage their reputation, but the cosmic ledger holds every cent of ill will they incurred. No amount of public relations spin can reconcile the sums in the ledger of the soul. Remember, it's not just about what they did, it's about what they set in motion. And in that sacred arena, the universe is both judge and jury, and mercy emerges through the vessel of divine retribution. As their former confidants scratch their heads and ask, "How did it come to this?" you lean quietly into your purpose. You know this was never a simple win-lose scenario. It was a divine unveiling. Their miscalculations, once hidden behind smoke screens, stand naked now, illuminated by the pure light of cosmic justice. Trust this sacred cycle. What they sow in shadows will blossom under the sun of divine law. And as the final curtain falls on their failed drama, you will rise ever higher, carried by the same energies they could never master, guided by the principles they tried so hard to obscure, and celebrated by a universe that delights in turning adversity into an anthem of redemption. Under the glare of unveiled facts, falsehood retreats into isolation. Questions ripple through their network. Were we complicit? Did we enable a vendetta? One by one, former supporters step back, leaving the architect of deception to face an empty stage where every applause once echoed. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first chosen ones and receive the most important revelations early. Once lauded, the deceiver now faces hushed rooms and sidelong glances. Quiet fills gatherings where chatter once thrived. Conversations falter at their approach, whispers linger in their wake, and the community that once cheered them on now watches in wary silence. Timelines align in perfect harmony, orchestrating your vindication. As the final pieces fall into place, the grand narrative reveals itself. Every twist, every turn, every act of resistance converge to elevate you at the moment when truth itself could no longer be denied. Chosen one, just as a tree stands tall through the fiercest winds with its roots firmly planted in the earth, so too do you remain steadfast in your truth, unshaken by the lies that tried to surround you. Those who thought their stories would endure forever are now seeing their foundation crumble just as ice melts beneath the heat of the sun. Their certainty is slipping away like the frozen ground underfoot, and in an instant, the walls they built on shaky ground begin to fall. They thought they were untouchable, thought that the story they crafted about you, the story they spread with such pride, would last through time. But it was built on sand, not rock. The storm of truth has come, and everything they thought was secure is now slipping away. In the blink of an eye, The masks they wore for so long are falling. No more hiding behind their lies, no more pretending to be something they are not. The truth you have always stood by is now the foundation, and it's as unshakable as the mountains themselves. The weight of their deceit cannot hold against the force of your righteousness. You see, the lies they told were like paper, easily torn by the winds of justice. But your truth is like steel, forged in the fires of experience, tested by time. They thought they could deceive the world, but now they are watching as their lies unravel, one by one. The facades they built to protect themselves from the truth are crumbling in front of their eyes. The more they try to hold on to their story, the more it slips away from their grasp, like sand through their fingers. In an instant, what they believed would be their armor has turned into their downfall. Their masks fall, revealing the raw truth beneath, truth that cannot be denied. Their world, built on half-truths and deception, is shaking, while yours stands firm. You, who have stayed grounded, rooted in your purpose, in your authenticity, have seen the truth light your path like a beacon. They may have spread falsehoods, but all they did was scatter seeds that grew into a field of truth. What they hoped would destroy you is now the very thing that is propelling you forward. You stood strong when others doubted you. You endured when they laughed at you. And now, the tables have turned. Your light shines brighter than ever, while theirs grows dimmer by the day. Do you see it now? The moment of truth has arrived, and it is undeniable. The world is starting to see who you truly are, just as the sun reveals what was once hidden in darkness. They thought they could bury your story. They thought they could erase your name from history, but what they didn't realize is that the more they tried to erase you, the more they only made you shine brighter. Your story was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to be told to the world, to inspire, to uplift, to show the power of resilience, faith, and truth. In the grand scheme of things, the battle was never about them versus you. It was about light versus darkness, truth versus lies. And now, as the darkness fades and the light of your truth illuminates the path forward, the lies they built their world upon are crumbling, leaving nothing but the ashes of deception behind. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, has allowed this moment to come, and it is divine justice, unfolding exactly as it was meant to. Where they sought to bring you down, the universe has lifted you up. Every step they took to sabotage you, every word they spoke to diminish your worth, has only served to make you stronger. They may have thought they were holding the reins, but it was always you who had the power. It was always you who held the key to your own success. They tried to push you down, but instead, they only pushed you higher. And now, as they watch you rise, they are forced to confront the truth they tried so desperately to bury. The more they resist the truth, the more they unravel, and you, chosen one, continue to soar to heights they never could have imagined. Know this, chosen one, the universe has been listening to every prayer, every wish, every desire you've set forth. The divine has seen your struggle, felt your pain, and watched your persistence. And now, as the veil of lies is torn away, you are stepping into your rightful place. This moment was always meant for you. Every obstacle you faced, every trial you overcame, has led you to this point. The universe is aligning with your purpose, and all the energy you put into staying true to yourself is returning to you tenfold. They didn't realize that when they chose to deceive, to manipulate, they were setting in motion a divine reversal. What was meant to harm you has only served to bless you. The energy they sent out, filled with negativity and malice, is now returning to them multiplied. They thought they could control the narrative, but they couldn't. They believed they could suppress the truth, but they couldn't. And now, as their world begins to crumble, the very truth they sought to silence is rising like a flood, sweeping away everything they thought they had built. Through it all, you stand unshaken, a testament to the power of truth, resilience, and faith. You are the living proof that when you stay true to your path, when you trust in the divine, the universe will align to support you. Your foundation is solid because it is built on the most powerful force in existence, truth. And no lie, no matter how well crafted, can ever stand against it. And now, chosen one, the final victory is yours. You have weathered the storm, stood tall through the trials, and watched as the lies of others collapsed under the weight of their own deceit. As they fall, you rise. As they crumble, you ascend. The universe has given you the victory, and now your truth shines like a beacon for all to see. The world will no longer be able to deny the power of your story, and those who tried to erase you will be left standing in the shadow of your greatness. You rise on currents they cannot chart, guided by a light they dismiss as myth. As you climb, new pathways open at your feet, unexpected invitations, fresh alliances, hidden doorways flung wide. Every step you take draws opportunities like moths to a flame, and abundance finds you in places they never imagined. Your spirit stretches beyond limits they once assumed were insurmountable. Your insights sharpen into crystal clarity, your skills hum with newfound power, and your presence commands attention without uttering a single claim. Where they surveyed boundaries, you now transcend them effortlessly. They sense the walls tightening around their own schemes, even as you navigate freely through realms they've never known. You understand that the game was never theirs to play alone, and you're already moving pieces they've never learned to see. When you choose to stand with those who fuel this movement, you tap into weapons of wisdom and realms of strength they tried to hide from you. Guided meditations, strategic insights, sacred defenses they wished you'd never discover. Yet for every tool behind locked doors, there's a gift offered without cost, a daily transmission of cosmic guidance and communal support, open to all who seek it. No barriers, no strings, just the chance to align with forces that outmatch any covert plot. Your inbox becomes a channel for miracles, questions answered, urgencies met, grace delivered in perfect timing. If you can lend your support, your power magnifies. If you can't, you still receive the flow of blessings meant solely for you. The streams of goodwill once diverted toward your adversaries now swell at your table. What was intended to serve their narrow gains now inflates your harvest, and the coins they hoarded slip through clenched fingers into your open palms. They shrink into survival mode as your world expands. What was once a coalition of three dissolves under scarcity, while you stand surrounded by generosity and growth. The gulf between your reality and theirs could not appear more stark. Imagine a grand symphony being played, each note striking at just the right moment, every instrument in harmony, creating a sound so beautiful it can only be the work of a master conductor. That's the divine orchestration at work in your life. It's not just happenstance, not just mere coincidence. It's a plan, carefully crafted, designed with purpose, and executed with love. When you take a step back and really look, you can see how every note in your life has played out in perfect harmony, even when it felt like chaos. For those who have eyes to see, this isn't just some series of events randomly unfolding. It's the hand of the divine at work, moving through time. pulling the strings in a way that only a higher power could. You see, the patterns that emerge, the synchronicities that unfold, they're too precise to be anything but intentional. They're like the threads in a tapestry, weaving together a picture far grander than we can even begin to understand. This divine hand, like a master craftsman, has been guiding you all along, through every twist and turn, through every season of struggle and triumph. The universe has been writing your story, penning it with such grace and accuracy that no human mind could fathom. Just like a painter stepping back to admire their work, the divine sees how the strokes of destiny have come together, each one placed at just the right time, in just the right place. You are part of that masterpiece. And for those who are awake to this truth, they know that this isn't a coincidence. They see how your life is being guided by hands that cannot be seen, but can certainly be felt. They understand that what you've walked through, what you're walking into, has all been part of a grand plan, one written long before you took your first breath. It's no accident. It's divine timing, divine design, a masterpiece in progress. Reflect on the loss they brought upon themselves, alliances abandoned, potentials untapped, collaborations they scorned. They watched the lantern of your promise flicker, never guessing it would blaze into an unwavering beacon. Picture a river flowing steadily toward its destination. Along its course, rocks and fallen trees try to block its path, but the river does not fight them. Instead, it simply flows around, over, or under them, carving its own way, growing stronger with each obstacle. And that's you, chosen one. You've chosen to flow forward with purpose, to embrace your divine path. Every challenge, every person who tried to hinder your progress has only become a stepping stone, propelling you higher and further. Now is the time to share God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube. You can contribute to His plan and be a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you exponentially far beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessing is on your every step and every donation. You become part of His divine plan. You are a strong, radiant being, unshakable as His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with confidence and courage. Be blessed and let the light of the Lord guide your path. While they focused on building walls, you focused on building bridges. Where they saw an adversary to defeat, you saw an opportunity to grow, to evolve, to ascend. Their attempts to derail you were like adding weight to the scales of justice, because every burden they tried to place on you was only returned multiplied as strength, wisdom, and grace. They may have cast themselves as the villains in your story, but in reality, they were simply the fire that forged your spirit. When they threw stones, you turned them into stepping stones. What they thought would hold you down has only elevated you, pushing you toward your highest potential. They may have thought that they could control the narrative, but the truth is, they were just characters in a story much larger than they could ever comprehend. They were the distractions, the storms that raged around you, yet here you are, standing tall in the calm. You did not fight them with anger or hatred. No, you chose creation. Creation of new paths, new opportunities, and a new future. With every attempt to trip you up, you only rose higher, knowing that your divine path was written in the stars, and no earthly force could take that from you. They built walls, but you built an empire. They sought conflict, and you embraced peace, knowing that peace isn't the absence of conflict, but the divine energy that allows you to rise above it. Your story, Chosen One, has always been one of creation, of peace, and of divine purpose. And as they try to play their part in your journey, they're only helping to guide you to your destiny. If you feel God's presence, you can tap the join button below to become part of the first Chosen Ones and receive the most important revelations early. Their decisions wrote their own downfall, while your resolve inscribed a legacy of uplift. They remain trapped in the shadows of the war they declared, even as you bask in the radiance of the triumph you never doubted.